Welcome everyone and hello race fans to Goes Fast TV. We're here at the exciting racetrack of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway here in beautiful Indiana as we get prepared to run the Indy 400 this afternoon. Thanks for joining us at Go Fast TV. We'll give you the rundown in just a second of what's going on here at the track. The drivers that have the cars bring you some highlights this afternoon of the drivers, the cars, the racetrack here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. As I said, the running of the Indy 400 for the special elite car is running this afternoon here at Indy. And we thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Bill Deal. Hope you hang around here and watch the action. We're going to show you bits and pieces. This basically race this afternoon is a kind of unique race. We'll have some pros and some not so pros over here at the racetrack. A couple of rookies involved in it. Some new drivers coming in. And I hope you enjoy it. And thank you for joining us. As we prepare, the drivers are now heading toward the cars and getting ready for the command to start their engines. As give you a rundown of this track. It's pit road speed is 60 miles per hour. It's a 2.5 mile oval track. Should be some fun racing this afternoon. So here we go, and let's see if we can get this race underway. Pace car is in front of the cars on the field, and the drivers have been given the command to start their engines. They get ready to roll out here momentarily, and we'll be able to watch all the action. So give you a rundown of who's starting where. On the pole is that 31 car Buick Chestnut, that Wrangler Jean Chevrolet, different paint scheme. See the back ones I'm lining up here. The second place car is Ivan Schottman at 18 Wolf Racing Dodge. Third place is that Castro GTX Ford Fusion of Stuart Forgy. Fourth place is Mark Cruz in that 420 sponsored Chevy. Fifth place is Roy Hagemeyer, as we see him losing his car here this afternoon. Roy is a first-time driver here. He drives the Iron Man number 5X Ford Fusion. Sixth place is the 420 friendly car of Brian Lofhead from he was from Brooksville, Florida. I think he's moved, but he's still a Florida native nonetheless. As we get ready to go green flag racing here, the pace car is leading the pack around the track around about 80 miles per hour, which is pretty fast. But this is a fast track, so you got to keep on your P's and Q's here to catch up with the action. So we're going to try to bring as much action as we can here this afternoon to Go Fast TV. Thank you again for joining us. As we see Roy Hagemeyer learning how to drive his race car, there will be another lap of caution, and then we'll go green flag racing hopefully. To give you a little background of why Roy Hagemeyer is driving so erratic, those two guys in the back with the green colored cars, they're all close friends. Mark Cruz and Brian Lofhead. Brian Lofhead is evidently trying to fake Roy Hagemeyer out. So we got basically about 3 pros and, well, I don't know about the 3 cons, but they always say pros and cons, but we say it's 3 pros and 3 not so pros. But they're coming down the backstretch here at Indianapolis, the Indy 400. And thank you for joining here. Sponsored by Friday Night Thunder, new series on the tracks. Friday Night Thunder brings you all the action here each Friday night. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you have a good time watching the race here. So we've got 70 laps here tonight, or this afternoon rather, in Indianapolis. There will be probably some bumping and banging, some scattered drivers, close-up drivers battling for position. So we'll see how it goes as the pace car and the cars come around turn 4. Getting ready to go green here at Indianapolis. Pace car is headed in. We should have green flag racing here momentarily. And the guys with the flag is waving the flag. So here we go. Green flag racing here has begun on lap 1. So we see the 31 Wrangler, that Q Chestnut, dive down to the bottom and basically just take over the lead here as he really works that high side coming out of turns and then works the bottom side going into turns. You see that 18 car, Bob Deschamps, in second, and Stuart Forgy in third as they make their way down the backstretch here on lap 1, reaching speeds of pretty close to about 200 miles an hour here on the backstretch. And that 31 has gained a little distance on that 18 car, but the 18 car is not giving up. And do we have a, looks like we may have a caution here already. May be wrong. Let's see. Yep, we have a car that's turned around. Roy Hagemeyer, that 5X Ironman, has spun his car out. So I don't know if we've got a caution flag or not. I don't see no caution lights flashing. But on the backstretch, Roy Hagemeyer has got his car out of sorts, maybe, if you want to call it that. Let's see what he trying to get his car. I think he got on the apron a little bit and running around the bottom track. He went a little bit sideways, gathered his back up, and he got down in the grass and got loose and tried to overcorrect it, and basically that's what happened. He hits the wall hard in the backstretch here on turn 1. So Roy Hagemeyer in the wall here this afternoon at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and trying to get, I think he may have some suspension damage. And while he's collecting his car up and getting back toward the end of the field, if you can, we're going to take a quick station break. Be back momentarily. All right, thank you for joining us again at Go Fast TV. I'm your host, Bill Deal. We watch Roy Hagemeyer struggling to get his car back on the lead lap here at Indianapolis at the Indy 400. We're going to fast forward this thing just a little bit to see what he's going to do. So he's definitely got some suspension damage on that Ford Fusion, and he's trying to get that car back up to the pack here this afternoon at Indy 400. The rest of the cars are following the pace car out here, as you see these guys heading off, and we have the Keith Chestnut in that 31 Wrangler Jean Chevrolet, painted in the old Dale Earnhardt scheme, still leading the pack here this afternoon. Ivan Deschamps in that 18 Dodge Charger, Wolf Racing is second. Stuart Forgy in that 35 Castro GTX third. Mark Cruz in that 420 sponsored Chevrolet is fifth, fourth. And Brian Lofhead in that 420 ×2 car is running in fifth position here. Brian's speak a little bit about Brian Lofhead. Brian is a avid racer. He's been racing and in around racing basically all his life. I think he's in his mid to upper 30s. Brian hails as a native of Florida, and he hails from Florida. And Brian just recently moved from Brooksville, Florida to I think Fort White, Florida. I think that's what it is. Brian is heavily involved in iRacing. He's come over here. He ran Stock Car Revolution when Stock Car Revolution was running in our factory, and now running in our factory too. Trying to get got himself back up to speed here. Brian lives with his dad and his cat JoJo. His cat JoJo, I think his cat JoJo is doing more 420 than the driver of the car is. But that's a crazy cat. But anyhow, we see Brian Lofhead pulling off here on going down pit road. He may have got caught up in that melee with Roy Hagemeyer, and going down pit road and getting some tires and some fuel, topping off. They've only got lap 3 in, so they still got 6 to 7 laps to go here. And we see Roy Hagemeyer coming into the pits as well. He's probably going to have some damage fixed on that car. He took a hard lick on that back wall. Coming into pits here. And we see 31 car leading the race here. Our race leader, Ivan Deschamps in second, and Stuart Forgy in third, and Mark Cruz fourth. Should be going back to seeing Brian Lockhead here coming out of the pits now. Coming around the rear entrance. And Brian decides not to run that entrance to the track. He decides to do a little shortcut, which is fine. Brian's car is sponsored by Cheech and Chong. Might need to explain why they run so crazy, but anyhow. Roy Hagemeyer at the pits got his damage fixed, and he's back out on the track. Out in the shop now is our new race leader. And Keith Chestnut in that 31 car, he's coming down the pits to take service for his vehicle, tires and fuel. And lap 5 here at the Indy 400 here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And so has Mark Cruz. Mark Cruz followed suit, coming into pits and doing the same thing. These guys probably go a lap down, or maybe not. You'll see that Keith Chestnut in that 31 car, Mark Cruz in that 6X. I think it's a 6X. Yeah, 6X car. Anyhow, we'll see that Mark Cruz in that 6X car follow the suit of Keith Chestnut there. They're both come out of the pits and going down the backstretch, trying to catch up to the rest of the field. You'll see Brian Lockhead slow down and waiting for the command to be given to get these cars in order under caution laps this afternoon. And Stuart Fogey now has taken over the lead. Stuart Fogey now is our new leader in that 35 Castro GTX Ford Fusion. As you see Ivan Deschamps, who was the leader, is pulled down into pit road and getting service for his car. Ivan is pulling an old Jack Martell move. Jack was one of the racers over at MSRL, was notorious for going into the pits and topping off with fuel on the very last caution lap, hoping he would get an edge, and 9 times out of 10 it did. He was able to go a lap further than most of the other cars on the field, but you got to remember this track here is a lot different than most of them. Fuel mileage plays into a vital role here, but also position. So if you've got speed and you can stretch your fuel mileage a little bit, more than likely you'll come out with the win. As you see Stuart Fogey in that first position, Keith Chestnut in second. We're thinking that let's see, okay, you got the pace car, and then you've got Stuart Fogey in first, Chestnut second, Mark Cruz third. Mark, we'll talk about Mark when we get the chance. We still don't know what Roy Hagemeyer is up to. I think we need to pull him off the track and check him with drugs, give him a toxicology, give him a drug test or something. Roy is our first time race car driver here at Friday Night Thunder, so we'll see how it goes. But now, pace car is off. We're fixing to go green flag racing here, guys, and we'll see how it is. As the cars get ready to rock and roll, and the green flag has been dropped, and here we go. Lap 6, back to green flag racing. As we see Stuart Fogey dropping to the bottom, first position. Keith Chestnut dropping to the bottom of that second position, looking on the outside, right on the back of Stuart Fogey's bumper. Gives up a little bit of space going around the corner. And you'll see Mark Cruz right almost 1-2-3 deal with Mark Cruz behind that 31 Wrangler. Ryan Lockhead in fourth, and Ivan Deschamps fifth, and Roy Hagemeyer's back there somewhere. We don't know. But anyhow, it's back up to the front action of racing. So we see Stuart Fogey still leading the pack here, coming down to the bottom. Coming around turns 3 and 4. Coming down the front stretch here, it's still Stuart Fogey, the 31 Wrangler. trying to make up some time to catch him. So he's made up a little bit of time running him down. He's definitely knocking on his same zip code. So we'll see what happens here. Stuart Forgy gets a good run off of turn 1 here, turn 2, and still holds his position here this afternoon in Indy 400. Keep Chestnut, that 31 Wrangler Jean Chevrolet, making up some time. Mark Cruz in that Cheech and Chong sponsored 420 car. Keeping up with the field here. So Mark Cruz doing a fantastic job. Mark comes over basically from Stock Car Evolution in R Factor 1, and then now joined R Factor 2. And Mark is a Canadian native. His brother Richard, Mark lives in Renfrew, Ontario, Canada, and has made the move down here to SCSR. And doing a great job here this afternoon. Mark's been an avid driver for, I guess probably 10 years or so. You can see Mark get a little loose coming into turn 1, but gathers it up and continues to go forward. And we're sorry for the shaking of the camera, but when these cars come by here so fast, the ground shakes. Kind of like standing next to a railroad track when a freight train comes by. You will feel it. So, and we see now that the Mark Cruz is making up some time here. Still in 3rd position, even though Ivan Champ's in front of him. I may be a little bit behind him, come out of the pits and a little bit later. So, but Mark is an excellent driver, very well liked. Mark is has been a friend of the group, of the Team Spirit group, for many years. Him and his brother are good people. So. And Mark does know how to drive a race car. You know, it's like everything else. You never forget to ride a horse once you get on one. But you know, when you're on a different horse, it may take you a little bit to get used to the horse. But you know, all in all, after you ride the horse a while, you will be able to get back on it. And it looks like, from what I see, that there's a challenge now for Keith Chestnut on Stuart Forgy. Keith Chestnut gets around that 35 car. And on turn 3 and takes over the lead. So Keith Chestnut's in the lead. Stuart Forgy is 2nd. Ivan Deschamps, I don't know exactly where Ivan Deschamps is. He's 6th. So Ivan Deschamps trying to make his, he's 1 lap down, trying to get his lap back the old-fashioned way here. So we see Ivan and Ivan gets down in the grass a little bit and backs off. Now he has to give up position back to Stuart Forgy here. Ivan not running for position, but running to get his lap back. So Ivan has really stepped down that gas pedal, so he sees a chance to get his lap back, and that's what he's going to do if he can. That's some good racing back here. Battle to get his lap back. So he does make a pass on Stuart Forgy, and he's still in the 6th spot. We see that 31 Wrangler Jean Chevrolet get a little distance on Stuart Forgy. So as he crosses the start-finish line, he's put a little distance between him, about 1.6 seconds between him and Ivan Deschamps. And Ivan Deschamps, position he's got, he's in 6th place. He's about 1.2 in front of Stuart Forgy. So all in all, there's about a 2.4 second lead over 2nd place car of Stuart Forgy. Stuart Forgy showing that 2nd position here this afternoon. Mark Cruz shown in 3rd. He's going around turn 3 off the back stretch. Brian Lofhead. Brian Lofhead from Brooksville, formerly from Brooksville, Florida, now living in, I think it's Fort White, Florida. Him and his dad, Cat JoJo. I'm surprised. I need to do an in-car look on Brian's car, because I imagine he's probably got that cat buckled down in there somewhere or another. Most of you people who own cats knows what I'm talking about. Cats are a very special breed of animal. If they like you, they'll spend some time with you. If they don't, they'll lay in the corner and lay down and say the heck with you, you know. So, but Brian has got a real funny cat. Brian's got a Facebook page, and so, he takes pictures of his cat every now and then. Cat laying on his side with a cup in front of him full of water. cat will take his paw and dip it in the water and lick it. The cat's too lazy to get up and drink water, so, but that's okay. That's a cat. He can live with that. Enough about the cat deal. Okay, back to racing here. Brian Lofhead running in 4th position here this afternoon. Roy Hagemeyer in the 5th position. He fell off the field a little bit, trying to get used to his car, and we see him scrub the wall. So Roy's having a tough time here at Indianapolis this afternoon, learning the ropes of being a rookie driver and learning the ropes of how to put that car around the track without causing any damage. I'm pretty sure his crew chief is having a fit right about now, but he is still in motion. So looking here at Ivan Deschamps and that 18 Wolf Racing sponsored Dodge, co-sponsored Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ivan Deschamps hails from Canadian native and lives in Florida. Ivan's been racing for a number of years, and I think Ivan is currently living in Valrico, Florida. Ivan's got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers sponsored car, and he also got the Tampa Bay Lightning car. And you'll see that that 18 car trying to run down that 31. That 31's got a pretty good lead on it. And back to Keith Chestnut and that 31 Wrangler Jeans sponsored Chevy Camaro here, our race leader this afternoon, coming up on lap 16 here at Indianapolis. As you'll see, here running in the back of that car. I think that's a Mike Hebb design car. Let me look and make sure. No, that's not a Mike Hebb design car. Let's go through the field and see who he is. That's not a Mike Hebb car. That's not a Mike Hebb car. Oh, 420 somewhere. Okay. That's not a Mike Hebb car. That's not one. Bah, here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Ivan Deschamps driving that 18 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That is a Hebb design paint job right there. If you look on the left tail light, you'll see Hebb, H-E-B-B, Hebb Designs. I don't know if you see the word up under it, but Hebb Designs. Mike Hebb does a lot of paint schematics for these cars, wraps, paint schemes, whatever you want to call them. Mike Hebb is an excellent painter, does a lot of them, and he's in high demand. So if you want a fantastic looking car, of course these other guys in the organization paint cars too, but most of them look to Mike whenever they want a paint job. And you'll see the 18 coming up on the oh Lord, the 5X, and he bumps it back into the 5X because the 5X just can't get out of the way. But anyhow, that's how it goes, folks, right here at it ended this afternoon. Brian Lofhead is still showing in 4th position. Mark Cruz showing in 3rd, and the 8X Stuart Forgy in 2nd. Keith Chestnut still leading the race here on lap 17 at the Indy 400. Having a great run this afternoon here. He's got his car dialed in. By the way, this race is open setup, so you get a base setup and then you tweak it from there. And evidently he has, Keith Chestnut has found something on that car that is just incredibly fast here this afternoon. And loving every bit of it. Hitting his marks, and you can hear him back in the throttle just a little bit as he goes around turns 2, going down the back stretch. Let's see what the speed on his car is as he goes down the back stretch. And right now he's at 200 miles per hour, about 202, before he starts slowing down and going into turn 3. 165 to 167 miles per hour. Turns 3. About 160, 165 in turn 4. And then he comes out of turn 4 and hits the gas. So he's going back down the front stretch. We'll see how fast he goes. There's 200, 203. And then he drops the gas back down to about 160. And just before he gets in the middle of the corner, he hits the gas again. He's down on the gas again. So he's running the same thing pretty much every lap. And that's going to give him an advantage of watching him this afternoon. As we watch Mark Cruz and Brian Lofhead and Roy Hagemeyer struggling to maintain, especially Mark and Brian trying to stay away from Roy Hagemeyer. Roy Hagemeyer having a tough time here this afternoon. With only 50 laps left to go. I don't know if that Ford can take that much more damage, but we see Stuart Forgy in that 4th place car come into the pits. He gets some service for his car, or left and right tires. He's come out the pits, headed back out on the track. Roy Hagemeyer and the coming into the pits, and I think he slowed that car down really hard for some reason. He's careful not to speed going down pit road. He's evidently got to get some tires, gas, and sheet metal work, or body work, as some people say. But anyhow, and that's the deal with Roy Hagemeyer. Roy Hagemeyer hails from you see that 31 car is coming in the pits. We'll talk about Roy Hagemeyer just a bit. Roy Hagemeyer hails from Beatrice, Nebraska. The farmer, part-time. Been racing for a few years, 4 or 5 years, and other race leagues. Roy has a dog and a cat at his house. He lives on his farm when he's not racing, and he enjoys farming a lot. So he's having a good time doing that. You see that 31 car come in and take some right side tires, and then he takes left side tires. He's going to take some fuel. You see Roy Hagemeyer coming out of the pits, and 31 car right behind him. So the 31 car, 4 tires and fuel, and pit road speed here on Indy is 60 miles per hour, which I know the drivers love that. It's going to be funny, but you see the 31 take the shortcut. He just wanted a chance to get behind Roy Hagemeyer. So he shots out, which is allowable. In case you have a slow car on the entrance ramp to the track, you can use the shortcut between turns 1 and 2. I'm sorry, and to come back on your track. Showing him here is still the leader of the race here on lap 21, with basically 49 laps to go. As we watch the 31 car have a comfortable lead here this afternoon. Stuart Forgy and that 35 Castro GTX Ford Fusion here in 2nd place, and really put the smoke on on going around as he does here this afternoon. Stuart Forgy is a pretty good driver. He comes over from the UK, joins the US service to race. He does a good job of it. Stuart Forgy on that 35 Ford, running in 2nd position here this afternoon at the end of 400, as he comes upon the back of the 5X of Roy Hagemeyer. See him going around the curve, and he may have a caution on. We don't know. Let's see. Do we have a caution? No, it doesn't look like we got a caution. Of course, we may have one. Yeah, I think we've got a caution here, because if we didn't, that 31 would be moving a lot faster than what it is. So yeah, if we got a caution, it's come out evidently. The 5X, or another one of those cars, we don't know which, is been caught up in a little incident here. Let's see if we can figure out which one it was. I think it was on lap 21 that we had the caution to come out. We'll shortly find out. We see which one it was, and I can just about guarantee you which one it was. Lap 20. See Roy Hagemeyer in that 5X smoking them tires going around turn 4. Well, we don't know what brought the caution out, so anyhow, ran around the field with Ivan Deschamps, Mark Cruz, Brian Lofhead, Roy Hagemeyer. So, but anyhow, we're under caution here, lap 22 this afternoon at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. As you see the cars of Mark Cruz and Brian Lofhead bringing up the rear out behind Ivan Deschamps into 18. And the 5X of Roy Hagemeyer running behind the leader, Hugh Chestnut. Roy is a lap down. Ivan Deschamps in that 18 Wolf Racing Dodge. Come around turns 3 and 4. Not running up to track speed yet, but they're fast enough to catch up to the pace car here this afternoon. As you see Ivan Deschamps in the 18 peel off the track, head down toward his pits on pit road. And reminding everyone that pit road speed here is 60 mile an hour, which was it's a pretty good pit road speed for the drivers. The drivers really love this track because of the pit road speed, and it's such a long pit road. This track is used for numerous races, in the Indy 500, the Indy cars, open wheel cars, other type cars as well. So they've got a lot of pit stalls here on this track, and it's a long pit road. So the officials here decided to put pit road speed at 60 miles an hour, and these drivers love it. The only time they miss the 60 mile an hour pit road speed is when they go to smaller tracks with pit road speeds of 35. And some of them 40 miles per hour. Some tracks is 30 miles per hour. So that's like walking instead of running to some of these drivers. As you see, Ivan Deschamps in that 18 car going to pit road and coming off pit road now, back out on the track. He's running in 5th position. Roy Hagemeyer and that 5X Ironman Ford Fusion still in the 6th position. Keith Chestnut in that 31 Wrangler Jeans Chevrolet Camaro. He's still leading the race here on lap 25. So Forgy in the pits getting service for his cars. 4 tires of fuel here this afternoon. Peels off and comes out of pit road on back onto the track, showing in 2nd position. Mark Cruz in that 420 Cheech and Chong sponsored Chevrolet and 6X. Coming back out on the track, followed closely by Brian Lofhead in the 8X car. Cheech and Chong 420. Follows in behind Ivan Deschamps in that 18 Dodge Charger. Under caution flag here this afternoon at the Indy 400, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We see the 31 the Wrangler Jean Chevrolet peeled off. The driver Keith Chestnut peeling off here, going down pit road to see what kind of service he takes of his vehicle. You see other drivers coming around the track, catching up to the pace car this afternoon. I want to welcome everybody to the Indy 400, sponsored by Friday Night Thunder. Thank you for joining us. This is Go Fast TV. I'm your host, Bill Deal. A little bit of southern accent going on here, but we all know that most of the racing was born in the South, especially stock car racing was born in the South. Most stock car racing, all the stock car racing, basically is born in the mountainous areas and the foothills of North Carolina, where all the moonshiners used to make their run at night and trying to outrun the federal agents trying to catch them. And all this you see right here is because of guys like Junior Johnson. Junior Johnson was run shine for some people so you could make some money. Back then, farming was not always the best way to make money, so you had to supplement your income. And so they'd work during the week and haul moonshine on the weekend. Old Junior Johnson had a fast car, and some of them, they only saw his dust. I think Junior bought him a sticker later on, put on the back of his bumper, says "Eat my dust." But thanks to people like Junior Johnson, several more, Popcorn, Sutton, and all of them up in the hills of North Carolina, the foothills of North Carolina, NASCAR is a result of that, and it went from there. So, and I know some of you are going to say, no, it wasn't, but if you do your history right, you'll find out that NASCAR basically was born in North Carolina because they started some short track dirt races. And most of these moonshiners started running short tracks, dirt tracks around the hometowns and stuff, started putting money on them, and it went from there down to Daytona Beach. First race, Daytona, the Daytona 500, so to speak, was on the beach. Half of it was on the beach, and half of it was on the paved road. I think it was like something like 75 to 80 cars the first time they ran. Look it up on YouTube. Anyhow, back to the race, and thank you for joining us, folks, as we see Stuart Forgy in first, Chief Chestnut in second after they made the cycle pit stops here. Stuart Forgy in that Castrol GTX sponsored Ford Fusion, number 35 here, leading the race here on lap 27 here at the Indy 400 this afternoon. Chief Chestnut's in second. Brian Lofhead's moved up to third. Ivan Deschamps fourth. Mark Cruz is fifth. And Roy Hagemeyer up in the mix in the last place. You see the pace car peeling off the field here. We watched the 35 and the 31 come down to it. Giving the green flags in the air. Here we go back to racing, folks. Throw a 35 on that bottom side, and that 31 trying to challenge him, trying to stay on the high side. Can't do it, so Duck's in behind him here. That 31 starts to make that crossover, but he can't quite catch up to him. That 35 will get faster on the corner, so that 35 comes to corners 1 and 2, leading the race. 35 was right to his heels until he got a little pull from him on the second side. So coming out of turn 2 on that outside, he's worked on it pretty hard. So that 35 is now getting a little gap on him. See that 35, Stuart Forgy working that steering wheel hard in that car to keep in front. That 31, that Wrangler Jean Chevrolet right there with him just about. They come down the front stretch. And I think we're gonna have a little bit of a melee here. So looks like that 18 got in the back of one of those guys. Let's see who it was. Yep. It looks like the 31. I'm sorry, the 18 gets in the back of I think it's the 6'6" car, Brian Lofhead. And Brian just cuts down in front of him. When he does, he slips and going to the pits, and he kind of pushes him into the pits a little bit faster than what he wanted to go. And Mark Cruz right behind him, so both of these guys evidently go down the pit road where they want to or not. They've already hit that commitment line, so Ivan Deschamps here involved in a little incident this afternoon. You see Roy Hagemeyer behind Ivan Deschamps smoking that right front tire, trying to stay up with him. Stuart Forgy in the lead here this afternoon on lap 29, still leading at 31. And same zip code here, trying his best to run him down. You see the run that 31 gets some of that 35 in turn 1, closes the gap a little bit on him. Coming in turn 2, closes the gap on a little bit further. Still a few car lengths apart from one another, but that 31 seems to have found some horsepower somewhere or another. He is running down that 35. He said, "Wait a minute, Stuart, I know you're fast, but I'm going to try to get that lead away from you." So that 31 here, working hard on the back of that 35. Right now, coming out of turn 3, going in turn 4, working that same zip code. As you see, that 35 get a little bit far out toward the wall, but still holds on to it, and makes a good run this afternoon here. Indy 400. It's a good battle between the 35 and the 31 here this afternoon. That 31 drops low, the 35 goes in the middle, trying to hold that speed up on that car. 31 gaining some ground on him here, less than 0.2 of a second. And 31 and the 35 here still battling out for position here this afternoon, the Indy 400 here on lap 31. These guys are pretty good at racing one another. They've done it in the past, and they're right back after it again. You see that 31 drop down to the bottom, trying to hold off from going outside the wall, and then he just makes that pass on that 35 in the front stretch and takes over the back lead. So that 31, the Wrangler Jeans Chevy Camaro, is taking over the lead here this afternoon. And 35, that Stuart Forgy is in second. Trying to find out what they happened to Brian Lofthead here. Brian is having a tough time trying to find the track. Evidently, he has gone off the wrong the wrong entrance off pit road. There's 2 entrances coming off the pit road onto the track. One is for the track itself. The other is for a what they call a short track. So Brian has found his way back on the track. Here is in last place, but he still found it, and good for Brian. Keep Chestnut, that Wrangler Genie 31, still race leader Stuart Forgy. Pulled out a little bit of a lead over Stuart Forgy, but you see Stuart on that low side of that track, working that bottom side and trying his best to close the distance on the back of that 31. So it's a Ford and Chevy show right now. Stuart Forgy got about 201 mile an hour before he slowing down and getting to a little bit of a break so he can make the corner. He slows down in turn 3 and also in turn 4. And he hits, goes across the curb into the grass. That's going to cost him a little bit of time here. Ivan Deschamps worked himself up back to the 3rd position here in that number 18 Wolf Race, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers Dodge Charger has worked himself back up into the 30s. He gets the 201 mile an hour mark before he comes into turns into turn 1. Trying his best to catch up to that 35-31. You see Brian Lofthead coming out of the pits again. So evidently Brian had to go back in the pits for some reason, serving a speeding penalty or what have you. And I think yes, it was a speeding penalty that he got. So he had to go do a drive-through, and that's a costly mistake here at the Indy with that long pit road. So Brian Lofthead here in the Ching Chong 6X Chevrolet here is having to serve a speeding penalty doing a drive-through here at the Indianapolis 500 Motor Speedway. Keep Chestnut, that 31 Wrangler Gene Chevrolet, showing our leader, got him a good comfortable lead now over that 2nd place car, Stuart Forgy. You can see See the distance and the gap covered between both of them. Brian Lofthead going back in the pit road again. So evidently Brian is they got a penalty of some sort, and he's getting cleared that one, so he's having to serve another penalty here. That's going to put him at least 2 to 3 laps behind this afternoon here at Indy. So Keith Chestnut across the start finish line first, Stuart Forgy second, Ivan Deschamps third. And we know there's some more cars out there somewhere. We don't know where they're at, but they'll be by momentarily. Mark Cruz in the 4th position. Canadian Navy driving the 6.6 420 sponsored Chevy. Earl Hagemeyer, 5X Ironman Ford Fusion, smoking the brakes, trying to get into the pits here to be careful not to speed. So he stopped at the entrance of the pit road. Going into the pits this afternoon. Brian Lofthead still continue going around the track here. Showing Brian Lofthead right now in the 6th position, 3 laps down. Coming back into pits again. So evidently there is a problem with penalty here that he's got for some reason or other, and they just keep stacking on top of one another. Hopefully Brian can get that penalty situation and the officials can get it straightened out. I think his crew chief is talking to the officials to find out what's going on. Why is he having to come down pit road so much? So this is going to put him, after the 31 passes him at the start finish line, going to put Brian Lofthead 4 laps down. Not a good afternoon for Brian Lofthead. They're one of the pretty good races here. He's guy races at iRacing also on the 6X car. 8X, I'm sorry. Does a drive-through. Under 60 mile an hour, now back up on the track. And Keith Chestnut, that 31 Wrangler Jean Chevrolet, still our race leader here on lap 38 at the Indy 400 here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway this afternoon. Getting a very comfortable lead off of the 2nd place car. Let's see what kind of comfortable lead he's got. As he goes around turns 4. Starts down the front stretch. Stuart Forgy in 2nd. And Ivan Deschamps in 3rd. And Roy Hagemeyer comes around the corners, bouncing off everything he can. I think Roy Hagemeyer's 5th. Roy having a tough time holding on to that car this afternoon. He may not have his car set up to specs, or something may have been something may have broke or gotten loose. As we see Roy having a tough time going around the track here this afternoon, but he does hold 5th place, so you know, we'll see how it works out for him here on lap 36. Brian Lofthead down right now lap well, actually he's down 3 laps here this afternoon at the Indy 400. And lap 34. So Brian is basically down 6 laps here at Indy 400 this afternoon. As we see the leader, 31, that Wrangler Jean Chevrolet, Keith Chestnut, working hard to keep his car up front. Coming up on the back of some lap traffic. Stuart Forgy and Ivan Deschamps. 31, that 31 Wrangler Gene Chevrolet coming up on the back of the lap traffic. He may be coming up on the back of Mark Cruz here. We'll have to see. Just who he's coming up on the back of. Yeah, and that's Mark Cruz. Both of them kind of playing with one another, but that's a kind of a dangerous thing to do when you're leading the race. You're running up on the back of that traffic, and seems like to me Mark Cruz peeled off and is going down the pits and slowing down to get in the pits there, getting some tires or fuel or whatever. And that 31 still leading the race here on lap 42. Having a good run this afternoon, the 31 is. Just an awesome run that 31 car is having this afternoon. Staying out of trouble so far. Racing his race and hitting his marks. Ivan Deschamps has jumped up to the second position here. Stuart Forgy is in the pits getting some tires for his car, so he's giving up the second position and giving it to Ivan Deschamps. Stuart Forgy in that 35 car in the pits this afternoon here. Drops back to third position. See Ivan Deschamps taking over the first position here because 31 and the 5X is both coming down pit road, so evidently they are getting close on fuel. We're seeing some green flag pit stops here this afternoon. And Ivan Deschamps will take over the lead here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 31 coming into the pits, getting some service for his car. Right side tires. Some no fuel. And that's all he's picking up. Picking up 2 right side tires, and that's all he's grabbing this afternoon to make his run. It takes a little bit longer to fill up a car when it's empty than it does whenever you get 4 tires. So if your car is empty, you're going to sit there the amount of time regardless. These guys work pretty hard to fill up this car and get every ounce of fuel in that they can. So that's going to put Keith Chestnut back in second. Ivan Deschamps still showing in first, and Stuart Forgy in fourth. Third, I'm sorry. Mark Cruz in fourth, and Roy Hagemeyer is still running in fifth position. You see him smack the wall coming out of turn 4, and that's got to do a little bit of damage for him, but he still continued to move forward here, burning those tires up going around the corner. And we see Brian Lawford in that 6X Chinchi Chong sponsored Chevrolet. He's parked his car, and with the penalties and everything that he was assessed with, he's tried again some other time. He has parked his car here on lap 35. Tough break for Brian. Sorry about that, Brian. We wish you better luck next time, buddy. Oh, I'm sorry, on the 8X. So Brian Lawford here is parking his car this afternoon, lap 35. We see that 31. Keith Chestnut showed up, taking over the lead here. Ivan Deschamps giving up the lead here, going into the pit, putting him back into third position as he go down pit road 60 mile an hour, or just under 60 mile an hour. Stuart Forgy in second. You see the distance between Stuart Forgy and Keith Chestnut in that 31. Almost a whole turn distance between the both of them. People out there waving and jumping up, down, and cheering. And over there's a refreshment stand where spectators can get beer and use the bathroom and grab a burger or hot dog or something like that. French fries. And another shot of the racetrack here. The front stretch, the towers. As you see Stuart Forgy coming around here on turn 2, coming up behind Roy Hagemeyer. Slowing down a little bit here to try to find out which way Roy Hagemeyer is going to turn. Roy Hagemeyer pulls up in front of the 35, not being able to hold his line this afternoon. So Roy Hagemeyer is causing that 35 a little grief this afternoon here on lap 46. And Stuart's trying his best to get around the 5X Roy Hagemeyer. I think he finally does so. Being able to go around him safely without causing damage to his car. Roy Hagemeyer still in the game. As you see him had come up and hit the wall, running too hard, too fast, and it got him up into the wall. So he's got some more damage on his car. He's going to come to the pits, either during under green flag racing or either during the caution to get some damage to his car fixed. But I don't know how that car is holding together. I think they put that car together with bolts instead of some rivets. But Stuart Forgy showing in second position here this afternoon. Ivan Deschamps in that 18. Wolf Racing Dodge in third. Trying his best to catch up to the second place car after coming into the pits and coming out. Getting see him going down the backstretch. As he comes into pits, he comes into turn 3, slows down from 202 miles per hour. Stuart Forgy now in the first place position. We see the number 2 car of second place car of Keith Chestnut has come out of the pits here on lap 48. Coming back out on the track. Trying his best to catch up to Stuart Forgy. Coming up on the back of Roy Hagemeyer. Ooh, be careful, Keith. Caution must be out here on the track this afternoon. And trying to figure out why. Well, that's something that Roy Hagemeyer evidently might have been a caution. We'll have to roll back and see. I'm not as good at turn left TV, but I can get the job done nonetheless. Coming back in here, let's see what happens here. Should be able to follow the action here and find out which one had the bad low. Oh, there's the Mark Cruz hitting the wall coming into turn 3 hard. So Mark Cruz may have been the recipient of that caution flag, but it doesn't appear to be. Ivan Deschamps in third, Keith Chestnut in second, Stuart Forgy's first. Anyhow, could have been a situation of where Mark Cruz might have slowed down enough coming out of turn 4 that it tripped caution. So that may be what the deal is. But anyhow, nonetheless, I'm pretty sure Stuart Forgy did not want to see the caution come out this afternoon. That's going to close up the field here on the caution. Stuart Forgy had a very comfortable lead over that second place car, Keith Chestnut, third place car of Ivan Deschamps, and Mark Cruz with Roy Hagemeyer holding on here this afternoon. So caution is out here, folks, at Indianapolis Motor Speedway on lap 49 here, as we've got about 20 laps to go here, and we're going to see who's going to pit, who's not going to pit. And I think these guys will have to make one more pit stop before they finish the race. So they'll probably go ahead and pit now, I'm assuming, to be able to finish the race, top off the fuel, get as much fuel in that car as they possibly can. That gas man is going to be really throwing the neck to that gas cylinder on the fender of that car, because he knows his job is to fill up that car as much Sunoco fuel as he can. So he's going to be slamming some fuel in those cars. We see Stuart Forgy, our race leader, here on lap 50. Keith Chestnut in second, Ivan Deschamps third, and Mark Cruz coming in fourth, running up to the back of the field. Roy Hagemeyer in fifth position here as he continues to struggle working with his car this afternoon. Roy coming down the front stretch in that 5X Ford Fusion. Gonna smoking them tires a little bit going around the corner. Back on lap 50, Stuart Forgy in that 35 Castro GT8 Ford Fusion is our race leader here this afternoon. Under caution here, and we're having something that Stuart Forgy, is he going? Yes, he is. Stuart Forgy going to peel off and go into pits, as well as the 31. They're going to go into pits. Both these cars, 1 and 2, going into the pits here this afternoon. As you see them coming down pit road. It's going to put Stuart Forgy back in third position. Mark Cruz picks up second. Ivan Deschamps picks up the race lead here on lap 51 here, folks. So at lap 51 here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Indy 400, it is Ivan Deschamps in the 18 Wolf Racing Dodge Charger showing the way here this afternoon. I want to thank everyone for joining us here on Go Fast TV. I'm your host, Bill Deal. I hope you enjoyed this afternoon's racing. It's been fun. It's been a little bit exciting and a little bit scary for some of them. And these drivers has really put on a good show this afternoon, racing around this track. So I don't know who has put a horn button on their car, but they have. Some of these pranks that these drivers do, tricks or shenanigans or whatever you want to call them, some of them install a horn on their car, which most people know that NASCAR does not have horns, or NASCAR stock cars don't have horns, but these guys will do it, and they'll put one on there, and they'll get behind another driver on that caution, just blow and blow and blow the horn. So it is funny in a way, it is aggravating in a way. So Ivan Deschamps, our race leader here, going in pits, giving up that first position here, showing right now in the fourth position. Roy Hagemeyer still showing in fifth. Brian Lawhead's out of the race. Tough break for Brian. Hope to see him next week. Ivan Deschamps coming in and getting service for his car, getting tires and fuel. Right side tires. Is he going to take left side tires? Yes, he is. He's going to take 4 tires, a tank of fuel. Keith Chestnut showing in third. Stuart Forgy showing in second. And Mark Cruz from Renfrew, Canada, on lap 52 right now is our race leader. So Mark Cruz in that number of that Cheech and Chong sponsored Chevrolet is our race leader here on lap 52 this afternoon. The drivers come around turn 2, head into turn 3. I'm sorry, head in 3 into 4. So Mark Cruz, Renfrew, Canada, is our race leader here this afternoon, lap 52. Stuart Forgy right behind him in second, and Keith Chestnut in third, right behind Stuart. Will Mark get into the pits? Yes, he will. Looks like Mark is headed to the pits to get gas and to get tires on his car. That's going to put Stuart Fogey in the lead here this afternoon on lap 52. As we're going to take a station break, we'll be back momentarily. Welcome back, race fans, and welcome and hello everybody back to Go Fast TV. I'm your host, Bill Deal. We are here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Indy 400 this afternoon. Currently on lap 53 under caution as drivers make their way around the back stretch. And we see Stuart Fogey is our race leader here this afternoon. Keith Chestnut's in second. Ivan Deschamps is in third. Mark Cruz is in fourth as he comes out the pits. Headed back down the back stretch. Roy Hagemeyer's in fifth. And Brian Lofhead is retiring his car for the afternoon. So tough break for Brian. Hope to see him back next week as we continue with the action here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Following the pace car here. We see the pace car look like it's peeling off here. We're fixing to go back green flag racing here. These guys get lined up and ready to go. Here we go. Lap 53, lap 54 coming. Lap 53 to lap 54 here as we see the 35 of Stuart Fogey drop down on that bottom side. That 31 Wrangler Chevrolet tucked in right behind him. Ivan Deschamps looking at the bottom now to challenge that 31. There's that 1, 2, 3 coming down the back stretch. And 35 Stuart Fogey still lead the race here. 31 trying to close in on him. And 18 of Ivan Deschamps looking at that same real estate. Mark Cruz and that looks like that 6-6 car is back there. He's one for some of it as well, so he's working his way up there to the top 3 cars. Ooh, we see the 31 tap the wall just a little bit, so that might cause him some damage. But he's still hanging on to it, still running in second. 1, 2, 3, and 4 come down the front stretch here. Stuart Fogey, Keith Chestnut, Ivan Deschamps, Mark Cruz. You see that 31 closing in on that 35. He wants that lead. So he's still working hard in that same real estate. Shall I say plot of land? 35 and that Stuart Fogey getting it done here this afternoon. Our race leader here on lap 55. With 15 laps left to go, who will it be? Will it be the 35, the 31, or the 18? It could be the 6-6 of Mark Cruz. Who knows? Mark's working that car hard to try to catch up with these guys. Now he's just about 4 or 5 car lengths away from the back of Ivan Deschamps, looking at the back of Ivan's car. And that 31 car, Wrangler Gene Chevrolet, is challenging that 35 car. Shot out to the bottom here. Will he have enough speed to do it coming down the front stretch? And it looks like he may take over the lead here. Oh, they're getting together. Oh, they don't get together, but they get mighty, mighty close. Ooh, you couldn't have put a 12-inch ruler between both of them. And they're still running door to door. A little bit of banging and the door rubbing, and that 31 takes over the lead from that 35 here this afternoon. And that 18 shoots to the bottom of that 35. He's challenging that 35 now for the lead. 18 right on the back of that 35 here. 18 in the back of the 31. 35 challenging 18 back on the outside. That 18 held his line and went around the bottom side of the 35. So now the 18's in second place. Now you're looking at the 6-6 and Mark Cruz working on the back of that 35 car. Ooh, you see the 18 hit the wall coming out of this front stretch into turn 1 there. That's going to cause him a little bit of damage. So that 35, that might give that 35 car a little bit of advantage there because it did slow that 18 up a little bit. You see that 6-6 of Mark Cruz coming in fourth. and really working on him hard at that 18 and that 35, trying to battle for the same real estate here this afternoon as they come between turn 3 and 4. I see Stuart Forkey getting the grass a little bit come out. That's going to slow him up. That's going to give Mark Cruz the ability to come right up on his back door. So, you know, you see the 18, the 35, and the 6X working 1, 2, 3, and 4. And Mark Cruz looking on the outside. That 31 is looking in his rearview mirror, and he's just tickled to death because these 3 guys right here are battling for position. That's going to give that 31 car a chance to get away from the pack. He on lap 58 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway here at the Indy 400. So that's going to give the 18 a little leeway as he gets a few car lengths ahead of the 35 car. 35 car is still ahead of that 6X. Mark Cruz back there still working that 35. The 31 car of Keith Chestnut, the second place car of Ivan Deschamps, is 1 and 2. I'm trying his best to catch him, but that 31, he says, no, I'm out of here. See you guys later. That's going to give a little perspective, difference of perspective, how things are going to go. You're watching 31 to 18 to 35 and the 6X. Almost that 31 almost has a whole section of 3 and 4 lead on them other guys here. About a 5.5 second lead here on the rest of them. And moving up to about moving up to about 4-second lead on him. 31 hitting his marks. Down the back stretch as he come up on the light traffic of Roy Hagemeyer here. Roy Hagemeyer and the 5X and the 31 coming into 3 and 4. And then the 5X is right in front of the 31. He turns it, and they get together, and the 31 taps the back of the 5X and puts the 5X into the wall. Basically, the caution has now come out. That's something that the 31 did not want to see. Another caution here. The 5X saw the 31 coming, and evidently we're getting radio chatter that the 5X was trying to get to the pits, and he did not drop down to the bottom of the track like he should have. And the 31 tagged him in the corner and turned him. So there's probably going to be some discussion after that, after the race is over with. But caution here out on lap 61 here is the 31 car of Keith Chestnut's in the lead. Second place car of Ivan Deschamps. Third place car of Stuart Forkey. And fourth place car of Mark Cruz. On lap 61 as the pace car leads them around turn 3 and 4. Wondering if these cars will be able to get into the pits or just stay out. Right now it's anybody's guess. You'll see Roy Hagemeyer, the 5X Ford Fusion back there, has played himself up. He's come up to the back, coming up to the back of the field. Here with only 8 laps left at the Indy 400 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway here. Sponsored by Friday Night Thunder. Showing these cars coming around the track here. Turn 3, pace car, and the 31, the 18, the 35, and the 6X, 5X. Who will come in the pit? Who will stay out? And the 31 car peels off into the pits. Slowing his car down to less than 60 miles per hour. Careful he don't speed on pit road. That's going to give our race lead to Mark Cruz here. Mark Cruz decided to stay out. And right now he's our race leader, lap 63. Does Mark have enough fuel to finish the race, and will he stay out or will he come in? Roy Hagemeyer decided to stay out. As you see, the 31, the 18, and the 35 all coming into the pits. 31 taking right side and tires and fuel only. 18 and the 35 taking rights and lefts. That's going to give that 31 some fresher tires. If the 6X and the 5X does not pit, they're sitting ducks for that 31, because that 31 will eat them alive. Right hand tires on that side. He can run that car really hard with just 2 tires for a few laps. So with the amount of laps left to go, I'm suspecting that 31 is going to be our race leader before the race is over with. He may not be, but that's a guessing game, and it's a tactical plot on his part to put 2 right side tires on it with this many shorts of lap left, and trying to make it work for him. So we see the 5X of Roy Hagemeyer going to the pits, and that leaves the Mark Cruz out in that Cheech and Chong sponsored Chevrolet 6X. So we'll see here as we come up under the flag stand here, with only 6 laps left to go here at the Indy 400. It's now showing Keith Chestnut as our race leader. Well, no, it doesn't. It shows Mark Cruz as our race leader. Guys back and forth playing around a little bit. Mark Cruz holding the bottom. Keith Chestnut holding the top. Ivan Deschamps in third. And that's repositioning the field. It's giving Keith Chestnut the end of the longest line penalty for some reason. And that's going to put a hurting on him. So evidently there's been a little switch up here this afternoon. Keith Chestnut was running 1 and 2 all day long, and now he's been put in the back of the field because of some kind of penalty. End of the longest line penalty. That's going to put him in 4th place behind Mark Cruz, Ivan Deschamps, and Stuart Forget. So it's going to look like a tough break for him. It looks like a tough break for him. Does he have enough horsepower in that car to get back to the front? We'll see. As it's showing Ivan Deschamps in 3rd, Mark Cruz in 2nd, Stuart Forget back in 1st. Stuart Forget, our race leader here at Indianapolis. We're under caution here with lap 65, so 5 laps left to go. And we'll take a quick station break and be back momentarily. All right, welcome back, race fans. Welcome, hello everyone. We're back here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Indy 400. I'm your host, Bill Deal, and welcome to Go Fast TV. As we see the first and second place car of Stuart Forgy and Mark Cruz running 1 and 2, and pace cars off. So these guys fixing to go back racing. Green flag is dropping. These guys coming up, trying to slow down to catch up to them. So here we go. Green flag is dropped here on lap 66. We see that 31 slide by that 35, right behind that 18 as he's working himself up, trying to get position. The 5X on the top, holding that 35 up, or 18 up rather. And now it's the 31 and the 18 show. So let's see what happens here. As we see the 35 working himself by the 5X. I'm the shop on that 18 is our race leader, trying his best to hold on. He knows that 31 is knocking on his back door, so he's doing everything he can to hold him off. And that 31 says, I will not be denied today. 31 is coming on, so that 35 was worked around in slow traffic. So he's coming in and knocking on that same door of that real estate. So you see that 31 at 18. I mean, they're working hard at it. 31 is doing everything he can to try to catch up. That the 18 gets into the wall a little bit. That's going to cost him something. That's going to give him a little bit of time away. That 31 is going to ease up on him. So what's going to happen now is to go down the backstretch. 35 is Stuart Forgy is running in third. Ivan Champ still our race leader here at lap 67. Keep Chestnut in second place, and at 31 Wrangler Jean Chevrolet, and he hits the wall just a little bit. That's going to mess him up. So things get a little wild here the last few laps here at the Indy 400. Is he going to be able to catch that car, the 18 car of Ivan Champ? That's what we need to know. Ivan Champ's doing everything he can to stay in front of that 31. 31 closing the ground on him a little bit in turns one off the front stretch. Still closing the ground up on him on turn 2. It's going to be a shootout. It may not be a shootout, but we'll have to see. And Roy Hagemeyer all up in the way. This lead lap cars here this afternoon, but he finally goes up high and lets the 31 and 18 go by him. And Stuart Forgy comes around here in the back of the 1, 2, 3 pack and trying to get around that 5X. Ivan Champ still showing the race leader here on lap 69. That 31's coming up on him. Can he get him? That 31's knocking right on his back door. Can he get him? That 31 and that 18 is showing a 1-2 punch here this afternoon at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 31's not giving up. He's right on his back door. Closed the door on that 18, that 31 right dead on him. And not backing off not one bit. So you see that 18 get a little loose. They're going to run in turn 1. That's going to give that 31 an opportunity to go to the bottom. It's a drag race between 1 and 2, that 31 and that 18. Going down the backstretch. Which one will be faster? Which one will be victorious? Looks like that 31 has got him. That 31 has got him, and the 18 is going to drop down and do a crossover. That 31 says, not today, I'm hanging on. But, that 18 gets in the grass a little bit. That's going to slow him up. That's going to give that 31 a little chance to get away from him. So, if Ivan Champ don't close up on him right now, he can forget it. They're on the last lap. This is the last lap. And it looks like it's going to be a victory for the 31. So the 31, Chief Chestnut, and Wrangler Jean sponsored Chevrolet Camaro wins the Indy 400 this afternoon here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Ivan Deschamps comes in second. The guys are playing a little bit. Stuart Forgy in third. Mark Cruz in fourth. Roy Hagemeyer in fifth. Brian Lofhead's in sixth. Brian got a DNF. We're sorry about that. Hope his luck is better next week. And we see something going on between the 31 and the 5X. A little bit something going on here. I don't know what it is, but looks like that 5X got into that 31 somehow or another. But anyhow, 31's continuing on, going around the track. Congratulations to Keith Chestnut and that 31 Wrangler Jean sponsored Chevy Camaro this afternoon for winning the Indy 400. I know he's happy about the whole thing. Ivan Deschamps put on a good show. Them guys really put on a good show the last 3 or 4 laps. They were really hard racing. So congratulations to the rest of those guys. Ivan Deschamps, Stuart Forgy, Mark Cruz, Roy Hagemeyer, and Brian Lofthead as the 31 car comes up here and does a little burnout. And so that's what he's doing. He hits the wall, but that's fine. He said the race over, it doesn't matter. Making his burnout here. 31, another fender banging. But and that's the way it goes, folks. So we want to thank you guys for showing gratitude here this afternoon. Appreciate you coming up. Thanks to everyone here watching us at Go Fast TV. I'm your host, Bill Deal. Until next time, y'all have a good week.